All right, guys, welcome back. In this section, we'll work on custom scripts. So, what is custom scripting? Okay, we can see here on this documentation page, you have the form. You have form script lets you add client-side logic to your form. You can write form script for automatically fetching values, adding validation, or adding contextual actions to your form. That's just simply what it is. Without further ado, I'll dive into form scripting. Okay, before that, the- I'll have this my agent property form opened. Several things happen. For example, when I remove this, some action took place here. Like when I selected this agent, you notice this changed automatically. It is a form script, something is happening. Or once this is empty and you see this select fields open, it's a form script, something is responsible for it, right? Something is responsible when you click this add row, then it gives you another row, you're able to select something to it. That is form script. You can do several things on your form script. From the documentation, have several actions. Each form or each form script starts with this frappe.ui.form.on, the name of the doc type. Then in between, you have the events or actions you want to take place whenever an event occurs. For example, the to-do event. This is an example of a to-do event. In the form, we have the table, we have child table. Okay, going back to our property, this is a full table and this is a child table because it links to a, a child table or a child doc type, because this also links to, there are different items that belong to a particular table. We can work with a child doc type or a doc type itself in Frappe. Oh, sorry, we call it child table or or table itself. So we have child table scripting. Child table script should be written in the file as the parent. We have the parent name and we have the child name. In sales invoice, you have something like sales invoice and other sales invoice item somewhere that take actions based on what you write. Then custom script on the system itself, you can also write this JavaScript on the system itself by, I think from here you write custom script. This leads us to the two methods of writing JavaScript or form script for the system. You can either write it through custom scripts directly from the text or you write it directly into the file. But it is advisable to write it in the text from this custom script interface if and only if you are on production. You do not want to edit the data server. But if you are on development, I will advise you write it in or on a file. That's the best way to do it, because the disadvantage of this is if you write a script here in this custom script and you lose that database, you definitely lose everything. But if you write it in a file, you still have your file in a custom application. And recall or be or take note that you can write custom script for any doc type, be it sales invoice, user, payroll, whatever. You can always write your custom script in your custom app and attach it to that document. We'll see about that. Okay, back to our documentation. You can do custom script to set value of a document, to refresh, to save the document, to do several things, adding custom button to a form, removing custom button, clearing custom buttons, trigger, call, several things. This form.core does some things, but for the now, I want to do a few things on our property, what's it called? Our property doc type. The first thing I want to do is validate, should I make it simple? Okay, first I want to do is add a button to this place. Okay, to do that, You go to your source codes. Now estate app, doc type, property. Open the property.js. You already see this created automatically for you. There are basic tools or basic utilities or defaults that you have to take note of. You have this, go back to this documentation. You have refresh, form.refresh, and you have form.setup. Take note of it, form.refresh, form.setup. And okay, let's go to the top of this documentation. Take note of this. This is what the form events that you can plug into. You have the setup triggered once when the form is created for the first time. Before load, unload, refresh, validate, before save, after save. You have this for both the Python controller and the JavaScript. This happens on the front end, while the other one for the method controller happens at the back end. The first thing I will do is once this form sets up, I want a button to be added to this our form. And the button, once we click it, we will have an event occur here. I'll go straight to my code. This is refresh. I'll make this refresh active. Recall inside there, each method is separated by a comma. Take note, please. I would like to have my setup at the top. Function. You have two ways. You can write the function like this, or you write the function like this. Take the form, or you can just say form. Okay, yeah. Once this setup loads, first I want to see if I can have something console.log form. I want to print the entire content of the form. Please take note, whenever you do this, you save your JS file. Always reload before your changes will take place. Please always reload. Okay, our form has reloaded successfully. While working with the form script, please be sure your console is loaded. And this is what I printed. Console.log form. You printed it here form. You scroll down, you'll see the document, go through, you see every function you can access. The doc is the main content. You can see the content varies, address, test address, agent. Agents, you can see the name here, test agent, the amenities. Wow, this is beautiful. This is a list or arrays of items. The first one is, what's the name for the first one? Tennis court. The second one, you can go through it. Those is amenities. And several other things relating to this document. Property name, real estate one. The status is rent. The property type is flat. Okay, that is beautiful. I could also go old school here by saying function form. So it will look exactly like this. First thing I want to do is what? Add a button to this place. Click on this form.add custom button. Can grab this. There's two ways to add a button. First, you can have a single button or a button in groups. But let's work with the single button first. Get rid of this. This is a different thing entirely. Make our code neater. Say hi. I'll print this on the console first, and later show it on the screen. Dialog API. Okay. Okay. Reload this page. Okay, our form has reloaded, but we did not see the button. I will take this and drop it in the refresh into X. Once our page refresh, I want this button added. And once the button shows up, I will explain how this works. Okay, the form has reloaded and we can see the button here that says hi. We are in custom scripting and we are already doing some great goods. I'm going to clear this console, zoom it a little. Okay, I'll click this button and you see, although it says there's an issue here, but at least the button responds. I'll click it again. You see more error showing on this side, it's counting. So I'm going to debug the error to know what the issue says, because I said console rather than console.log. Okay, page reloaded successfully. Can clear this again. Click on this button and you see hi showing up here. How about showing something on this screen or also collecting form information? How about that? Okay, let's see how that works. Go back here. Sorry. First, this form.add custom button adds a custom button to the screen. The first parameter here, say hi, is the button name. This second one is the function that takes place up to this place, is what happens when you click on this button. That's what goes on. And if you want this button to be in group, you can create a group here called, I'll call it a action. Add it here. Let me add several custom buttons. I'll call this one ping and this one pong. This will create a button called action. Once you click on it, you see this say hi, ping, and pong. Fully loaded. Click on the action button. You see say hi, ping, pong. That's it. But that isn't really what I want to do here. I'm gonna get rid of this everything. Go back to this dialog. Copy this Frappe.message print. Add it here. About copy. Want it also I don't want it to be in group. Save. Okay, reloaded successfully. Once I click on this say hi, you see this message, document updated successfully. That's what you have it. But what I really want to do is to be able to collect information on the screen, then use the information to update, let's say, update this address. I want to update the address and the property name. I want to update the address and the property name. From this dialog box, we have what we call prompt. This is what the prompt does. Um, okay, I'll use this first simple one. Use this one first. You can always test this code on your terminal before you use it. Paste it, click. You see, this says frappe.prompt. The first value is a field name. Then the next is what? A function that takes place when this value is entered. And the function says print this value in JavaScript. I say Anthony, and it prints this to us on the browser. But do you really just want to print? Do you really just want to print on the browser once you enter this? How about using it to do something? Okay. What I can do here is comment this out first, paste the code above. Frappe dot. What I want to change is this address. I'll call this address. This address. Okay, good. Value. I'll expand this. Okay. Once I enter the value, I want to change the content of this address. I want to say frappe or if value, if it is not empty, frappe dot model dot set value. The value I want to set is address, comma, what I want in there, value. The first value here is the field name, this field name, address. And the second parameter is what should be fed into this place. And after doing that, if you save this, it will change in the background, but will not change on the surface. If you want it to change on the surface, you have to add, after executing the value, you have to add form.refresh field address. And after that, I'm going to say address field updated with value. Okay, what did I do here? Frappe.prompt. We want to get address and whatsoever we get, we'll check if there's a value in it. If there's a value, you change the field frappe.model.set value. The field you want to change is address. We add in the new address we just set and refresh that field so it should show on the screen. Then print this message to the screen. I'll save this and reload. But while reloading, I want to show you something about the Frappe.set value. Okay, it should be, I made a mistake, it should be form.set value, not Frappe.model.set value, it's form.set value. But I'll correct that. Form.set value, form.set value. Sorry about that, please take notes. Although I'll test what I did to see the results. Say hi, or let's see the error we'll get first. Wow, it's even worked anyway. But I doubt if the address is going to change. Okay, so I reload it so this new code can be updated form.set value because the first one did not work. Okay, I'll try that once more. Clear this console, click say hi and New York. Take note, have you seen that this New York changed? It changed from test address to New York and same message, address field updated with New York. You can see it here, that has changed content of our form. And this is not just, we can do several things with this form. From the documentation, you can see here, there are several things you can do from here. Okay, next thing I want to do is check on this, what's it called? This field. You will notice that we have something strange here. I have tennis court here and at the same time tennis court here. I want such that if a user tries to enter the same thing twice, it will not allow it. How do we do that? I'll get rid of everything I have done here. Okay, how about commenting it? First thing first, you get the name of the field. The name of this field is amenities, but right here we will not work on amenities. The name, this is a child doc type or a child table. We have to create a separate form for it. Just like this, we'll create a separate form for it. Copy this, come down here, amenities child table, paste. Okay, here becomes let's reference the name of the table so as not to make mistake. Doc type lists. Amenity property amenity detail, that's the name of the table. Property amenity detail. Property amenity detail. Okay. First thing first, what I want to work on is the name of the field on this table. What's the name of the field? Okay. We do not care about the name of the field. What we care about is this field itself. We have label, we have type, we have name, we have this. What we care about what is this name. Sorry, is it property amenity detail? Let's see again. Yeah, it's a child table, amenity name, and we pick it from here. So what we care about is what it shows up, the values it gives us. And where is that value? The value is in this our doc type, amenity. Okay, how do we do that? First, we check and say whenever we enter value into this field called amenity, we want an event to occur. Since you're on that table, we'll call it amenity. The name of the field is amenity. You can reference it back again from here. Um, no, not here. Where did I get that? This name, this field here, amenity. Amenity function from to grab the entire, once you make changes to this field, you want to grab the entire row here. You have several rows that can be grabbed. The entire row of that is you want to grab it. To grab it, you use what they call, I'll put the comment, grab the entire record. Let row, I'll call it a row, is assigned locals. This is a tool. Okay, amenity, I'll pass from a child doc type, child doc name. You must always pass this if you actually want to grab row in any field of the table wherever. Row, child doc type, child doc name. This is a tool or a function that helps you to grab the entire row. And what should I do next? Console.log. I want to print this row to see the content whenever I make changes to it. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is reload. Okay, successfully reloaded. Clear this once more. Take note of the amenities and make a change to this. Select something else. Okay, you see there's something happened here. Something seriously happened here. Although we have an error, says undefined, uncut in promise, reference error, local is not defined. Local is not defined. The issue is because I wrongly wrote this. This locals, S locals. Save that once more and reload. Okay, that's reloaded. Clear this again and try once more. Of course, you see something got printed here, right? Something got printed. How about printing the name? Row.name. Save, reload. Okay, reload. Try once more. Clear this. Okay, an issue again. Grab the entire record. Let row. Say type you cannot treat property name of undefined. Let's see what went wrong there. Amenity. I'm clicking amenity. Function from child.type, child.name. Let row equals to locals, child.type. Okay, here is a big mistake. Locals, to grab that entire row, you have locals, child.type, this first one. And the second parameter is what? Child.name, CDN, child.name. I made a mistake by saying child.type twice, instead of child.type and child.name. And here I want to console the entire row to see what we get from there. I reload. Sometimes you encounter series of bugs, but it's all part of the learning process. Okay, here we are once more. I'll clear the screen. Oh. Okay, go back, try to change the content. Beautiful. You see the entire row was printed. What did I select? Outdoor kitchen. Okay, I'm gonna select this. I'll select it to deck. And you see, else got printed. Let's see this last. This is deck IDX number 3. This should be IDX number 4. Then it's cut. Grab this, clear the screen. Cut, select, and the content got printed. With this, we can actually work on each of the items. But what I want is such that whenever we select, I will scroll through these entire items to check if there is repetition of any of these values. Okay, thank you. There are two ways I could do it. First is I could create an array. Whenever a value is added, I'll pick the name, feed it into the array, and check if the value already exists. Or I could just scroll through, but I wouldn't go into the various methods. I'll just go through one by running through the entire child components. Okay, to do that, I prefer to write my function in the setup. Always remember, separate each of your methods with a comma. Okay, here I'll have check amenities duplicates. First thing I'll do is each of your function, any function, your self-defined function that is not a part of the default should be appended to this form itself. The form dot check. I use JavaScript, okay. I'll just use my Python normalities. Check amenities duplicates. Check the form and name. Do I call it name or value? Okay, I'll call it amenity. To do that, I'll scan through, say for form.doc. Please take note what form.doc is. I'm gonna clear this. You can access form. If you cannot access form on the browser, I can call it current form. You could use current form. The current form shows you the entire information about this form, but we are only concerned about the document. So I'm going to say current form dot doc. This gives us the content of our entire form. And this is the amenities here with its contents. That said, form dot doc dot amenities dot for each. That is looping through each of the item. Can have amen. Okay, if I use this item, I'll just call it item. Console.log item.amenity. This is all I want. So here I'm looping through, I want to check. This is a function appended to the form to check for duplicates. Then from here inside the form, we loop through each of these amenities, pick each of them and console the name of the amenity. Then I'm going to call this here whenever a change is made. Whenever a change is made, you say form dot pass the parameter of form, comma, what next? The amenity, which is row dot amenity. Save. To pick the amenity name. We have not done the validation yet. We only try to look through. Reload. Okay, we have this. The form is no longer displaying because there's an issue with our code. To fix this, you go back to the code to scan through, although it says syntax error, unexpected token, this curly brace. I'll go back to check where I have issues. I have this, calling this, then the issue should be from here. We have the form.doc.amenities. I have this here and this here. Let me see where this comes from. Okay, to check for the error, I can comment this out. Comment this. Comment this out. Reload the page. Okay, reloaded once more and we still face the issue. Since we face this issue, we'll go back and to make sure, I think the issue shouldn't be there. We can comment this out. Check our braces properly. Set up this. Save. Try once more. Okay, form is back to normal. From here, I will debug to know what the issue is. Okay, this is the issue. The issue we are facing is here, directly from here. This is where the issue is, and I can see the issue. This is the fix to that issue. Form dot check amenities is assigned function. JavaScript could be funny sometimes, but this is that's just cause the problem. Okay, save, reload once more. Actually, I dislike JavaScript, but I had to, get used to it because of Frappe. But it's all good. It's nice experience. Okay, our form has loaded. Get to this place. So this console is always filled with logs. Make the change. Select something. And on selection, we should have something printed outward here. But it did not print because we have not added this. Add this back code. So be sure you add this to the code. Then uncomment this if you commented it out and you try. Hope we had good luck. Loaded. Clear this as usual. And make change to this. Select it once more. And yeah, our code is working, although we have an error here. It says type form.check amenities duplicate is not a function. Said it is not a function. We have to check to know why it says it is not a function. Here we call the form.check amenities duplicate And here we still have the same name, form.check amenities duplicate. It could not recognize this from the setup. Okay, I could check that from the browser if it does not exist. Current form dot check. Um, okay, this should work, I believe. I have to check it properly. Setup function. Okay, although I've reloaded, but I think I know what the issue is. That function should not be where I dropped it. It should not be there at all, at all, at all. But I'll run the test here first. After running the test, I'll correct that. It should not be there whatsoever. Yeah, it should not be here. It should be. It should be. But I'll grab this entire code. Copy. Should be in this. Should be here. Should be in the main form we are working with. That's where it should be, not where we dropped it. Yeah, here it should work. So this main form, the property, the setup, will write our function inside, then call it from this child table. I can get rid of this setup inside here. It's not useful. Save, reload. Fully loaded. I'll try that once more. First clear this. Back to our amenity section. Beautiful. You can see from this console, have everything here printed. Outdoor kitchen, parking deck, tennis courts. And what do I do next? Come into these codes. Once we look through it, to say if item, if amenity equal to this amenity imported here, there's here row dot amenity equal to item dot amenity, then frappe dot true, frappe dot true. And before frappe trues, you can see error. Can't you say error? Amenity already exists in item in row item dot idx identity. How did I get the idx? I'll print the current form form dot doc. Check through the doc, check through the amenities. You see the numbering. This is IDX1, IDX2, and the last one, number 3, should be IDX4. That's what I have here. Amenity already exists in row 3. This is not just amenity, it should be amenity like this. But before it does that, it should also remove what you have done or what you have added. In fact, I should import it here as row. Here also update it as row. Okay, then in this case it becomes row dot amenity. Here row dot amenity. Then here we can see clear form or clear field. Frappe form dot set value. Form dot set value. Sorry, not form dot set value. Row dot amenity is assigned blank. And what's next? Form dot refresh field. All the amenities. And what else? Through this. Through it. 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 Save. Reload. Let's try again. Can check first by clearing this. First, I'll select something or already exists in row 1. And what's that? Diving check. If row dot amenity is equal to item dot amenity, okay, that shouldn't have printed at all, at all, at all. But I know what to do about that. Before that, I can push this forward and say if row dot amenity is not equal to blank. If row dot amenity, open this, close this. So I want to be sure that there's content in this row dot amenity. Okay. Already existing row 2. That print is also blank. It should be row dot amenity. It could not see row, the content of that row. To be a good idea to print that row, console dot log row to see what we have. Then if row dot amenity, if not row dot amenity equals to blank, Could also test this Scott. Okay guys, there's a cache, please take notes. My logic is wrong. My logic for this code is wrong because each time a change is made, it will definitely scroll through. Once it encounters itself, it's gonna complain. The best thing to do to this code is check to see that if this is not empty, that is if it is not empty, one, then you check at the same time if row.amenity is equals to this and row.idx is not equal to, you can put this in brackets, is not equal to item.idx. As long as it's not the same number, that means it should not check itself. Then we can check. That means that if I change this, it should not check here. It should check every other part of this file except where I fully loaded. You can test it this time around to be sure logic is correct. So I'm going to leave it blank to see. Okay, nothing happened. How about selecting packing? Nothing happened. Now, how about selecting this deck at the top? Okay, there's still no complaint from, okay, I'll select something once more. Tennis cards. There should be one form of complaint or the other anyway. If row.amenity is equals to item and row.idx is equal to this, then it is true, then not is false. If this gives true, it should be false, it should not execute. Okay guys, I paused and wrote this code afresh, and this is what I did. I wrote it from, get rid of this. Okay, this is what I did. I said if you can write the code from this form.amenities dot as this. If row.amenity is blank or row.idx, the number is the same as the item we are scrolling through, we are looping through number, skip, don't do anything. Else, now check if row.amenity is equal to item.amenity, empty that row.amenity and complain, sorry, and refresh the field. Yeah, I think I mistakenly removed something I shouldn't have removed. Yeah, I removed it by mistake. I'm supposed to clear this and this. I cleared that by mistake. Okay, if row.amenity is empty or the item is the same through looping and looping through itself, you should skip. Else, check through. If it is the same, then empty that row amenity name, throw this error and refresh the fields. That is what I have done. So this is the full code. Or you can type this and it will work for you. You can test it from the screen. Clear. Okay. By ads, you can see parking, not allowed. I am sorry, allowed. What about tennis court? What did he say? Tennis court already exists at row 2. You see that? Wow, how about adding a deck? Say deck already exists at row 1, meaning that you cannot what add it together. So that's just it. And which other one? How about also checking that this property type, when property type is flat, you cannot select outdoor kitchen as well. You cannot also add outdoor kitchen from this row. I'll quickly do that, add it to the form. This is it. Check flat against outdoor kitchen. Form dot check flat against kitchen outdoor kitchen is assign function form comma row. Okay, what next can we do? Pick out the row. If oh, you can also even check it. No need to put it out here. Just drop it inside here. This inside this for loop for where is it? For loop. Yeah, this else. You can check if row dot amenity is equal to form dot doc dot sorry, not that. If form dot doc dot my bad, just come back to this. Made a terrible mistake there. There was no need to have anything added to this, please. So what I'm going to do is you check the row that was selected. Row is assigned locals. CDT, CDN, CDT. I already have this row anyway. You just to simply check if the row itself, go back to this row. Sorry for the confusion. Okay, I'll say if row dot amenity is equal to outdoor outdoor kitchen and form dot doc dot property type is equal to flat. Also through the error, you can write this into a function, then import it here. but I'll just use repetitive code for now. I would say, yeah, I would say item.amenity cannot exist in a flat. So that's it. Check for flat. If row.amenity is equals to allocation and form.doc.property type, form.document.property type is equals to flat, then empty that, throw this error message and refresh. And where do we call this? Can also call it here. We'll make this the first validation. Form comma row and recall form dot. Okay, we save this, reload. Can try it. So I have what is it called? A flat here. Check the amenities. Outdoor kitchen. Yeah, it complained but did not print out what we wanted. Said reference error item is not defined at. Okay, check back our code. This part of the code item. Yeah, we have no such thing as item. It will be row dot amenity, not item dot amenity. Or we can just say amenity here, whichever way, or import amenity directly. Then here we have row dot amenity. That's all. Sweet. Reload once more. Okay, we could test once more. Yeah, undefined cannot exist in a flat. Yeah, that worked. Where is the message? Yeah, cannot exist in a flat. I do not know why he said undefined, but whichever way, it should be row. But I doubt if this row would print. Yeah, why it would not print is because we have already emptied it here before printing here. That is why it will not print. But I could bring this down and try to print it. Save. Okay, reloaded. You can test that once more. Outdoor kitchen. The outdoor kitchen cannot exist in a flat. Okay, but this did not delete because we brought this down before executing this error. The best thing to have done is to say in here and say let amenity is assigned row dot amenity. Then you import amenity in here. That should fix the error. So although I may not need to test that, but you can see a little about custom scripting. Sometimes it could be frustrating to write some code, but for the now, you have little understanding about it. This is not all about custom scripting. In the next section, we'll continue on to copying a file and execution of event. You can also write event, not just for one part. You can write for different, you can write for this status change, you can write for this change, you can write for that change, you can write for different aspect of the system, change on different aspect of the system. So okay, but next we'll work on copying data. Okay, we could maybe on a sales invoice or expense claim, when you try to add a new row, once you click on this, try to add this new row, then we'll copy something from here down to this. and we'll test it out in the next section. Thanks for watching, and please do like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next lecture.